Let's talk about how to maximize your profitability with your Airbnbs. One of the first things I like to consider is the types of properties and the amount of guests that I'm hosting, and here's why. 80% of short-term rentals around the world host 1 to 4 guests. So my magical number that I like to host, or numbers, is from 8 to 12 people, because there are way less listings around the world that can actually accommodate that size of a group. And by being able to create that niche, right, becoming a big fish in a small pond, I can capture a larger audience. And let me give you an example of how that works. Let's say my property in the area is hosting up to 10 people, and my competitors in the area are only hosting up to 6. Whenever somebody is searching, right, they put a city, how many guests, and what type of properties. And if anybody searches like 6 guests, all of our properties host 6, all of us are going to show up on the listings of availability. But if they're looking for a property that can host a group of 7, guess what? Only my property is going to show up, and all the other ones will not show up because they don't accommodate 7. So again, whether they are looking for 7, 8, 9, 10, only my property is going to show up as far as availability. Now, to be able to host 8, 10, or 12 people, you need to go for larger single family homes that have 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms. Now, you might be asking, Jorge, how do you sleep 10 people in a 3 bedroom? Easy peasy. You take the largest bedroom and you set up a queen and a queen bed side by side. That can sleep 4 people in that room, right? 2 people in this queen, 2 people in the next queen. And then in the other 2 bedrooms, you just set up 1 queen bed in each bed, and now you're hosting up to 8 people in just the bedrooms. Now, when I started back in 2017, I would actually go as far as buying bunk beds, and I literally had a queen bed on the top, a queen bed in the bottom. I had another set of bunk beds right next to that one in the largest room, and had another queen and another queen, and I was sleeping up to 8 people in these large bedrooms. But over time, those beds get very squeaky. They're harder to climb onto. They're not as attractive, and they are more difficult to clean and to turn over. So now on the larger bedrooms, we just do a side-by-side queen and queen in order to maximize the occupancy. And the other thing you can do is you could set up one of those couches that have a pull-out full bed size, and you could sleep another 2 people there. Or it could be futons, although those aren't as comfortable. Or you could have a inflatable mattress that could sleep 2 people in the living room. And that's how you can hit those numbers like 10. But again, there are times where I have 2 out of the 3 bedrooms that are fairly large, and I could set up 2 queen beds in each of those 2 rooms. And I got 2 queens in this room, 2 queens in the next room, and maybe just 1 queen in the third. And now I'm hosting 10 in the bedrooms, and I could still host 2 in the living room. By hosting these large groups of people, you have the ability to charge those higher nightly rates, maybe 300 to 800, or even more, just depending on the location and the type of property. The next thing I want to go over in order for you to maximize your profitability is utilizing a dynamic pricing tool such as Beyond Pricing or Price Labs. You see, what these softwares do is they look at the airlines, events, hotels, and Airbnbs or any type of short-term rentals in the area, and they will adjust your pricing based on supply and demand. So if there's an event happening in the area on a certain date and the softwares recognize that there's a lower supply, they will increase your pricing. And they'll do the exact opposite. If they notice that there's a lot of supply, they will bring down your pricing in order to create more demand. The next tip is you want to make sure you are hosting on multiple platforms. Now, I get the vast majority of my bookings through Airbnb, and I also like to use VRBO because VRBO is actually one of the largest platforms right after Airbnb. And in fact, they've been around for a long time as well, even longer than Airbnb, I believe. And you can actually get a lot of clientele from VRBO that you wouldn't get from Airbnb. You can also sync the calendars for Airbnb and VRBO inside of the Airbnb platform. And if you wanted to host on even more platforms, you could use a management software such as Guesty, where you could host on Airbnb, VRBO, HomeAway, Booking.com, and like 50 other platforms that you've never heard about. With that being said, guys, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification. If you haven't already, make sure you like this video and check out one of my other videos here on my channel before you guys go anywhere. Peace.